Hello, band team. Let's learn about Esau descendants. This is the account of the family line of Esau. That is Enam. Esau took his wife from the woman of Canaan, Ana, daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Abel, daughter of Ana, the granddaughter of Zubah the Havitite, also Batzubah, daughter of Ismael and sister of Nabatai. Other bore Elizabeth to Esau, Basmal, por Ruru, and Orladorm, born Jus, Jaler, Koreu. Those were the sons of Esau, who were born to him in Canaan. Esau took his wives and sons, daughters, and all the men of his households, as well as his livestock, all his other animals, and all the goods he had acquired in Canaan, and moved to a land some distance from his brother Jacob. Their possessions were too great for them to remain together. The land where they were staying could not support them both because of their livestock. So Esau, that is Edom, settled in the hill country of Seir. This is the account of the family line of Esau, the father of the Edomite, in the hill country of Seir. There are the names Esau's sons: Elibas, the son of Esau's wife Idol, Reu, the son of Esau's wife Basemath, the sons of Lisbeth, the Timor, Emor, Zabun, Gatum, Gazuns. Zeus and Lesbos also had a Kozumba named Tamanai, who were born Elimelech. Those were grandsons of Esau's wife Ana. The son of Reu, Nathan, Reu, Azemet, Mozi. Those were grandsons of Esau's wife Basemath. The sons of Esau's wife Elabon, daughter of Anor and granddaughter of Zebulun, whom she bore to Esau. Jesus, Elim, Korun. Those were the Seth among Esau's descendants. The sons of Elizabeth, firstborn of Esau, Seth, Timur, Emor, Zebulun, Kazun, Koru, Kadum, Elap. Those were the Seth descendants from Elibus and Enom. They were grandsons of Eno, the son of Esau, son Rui, Zeph, Nodor, Eru, Zamur, Mazun. Those were the Seth descendants from Rui and Enom. They were grandsons of Esau's life Basemath, and the son of Esau, Ru, Momil, Seth, John, Jolon, Karu. Those were the Seth descendants from Esau, boy, or the daughter of Ana. Those were the sons of Esau, that is Enom. Those were their Seths. Those were the sons of Zuri, who were living in the region. Lotun, Zabun, Zabin, Anor, Anna, I guess I got the name right finally. I don't know if I'm saying half of these names right, to be honest. But her name is Anah. The Sur, Izur, Izur. Those sons of Zur and Ana were Hiri, Sev, the son of Lutun. Huri, Hamir, Tomir was Lutun's sister, son of Zublu. Ablu, Monir, Ablu, Zabu, Janum, the sons of Zubun. Anur, yes, Zanu discovered the hot springs in the desert while he was grazing the donkey of his father Zabun. The child of Ana, let this call her Ann. Ann, that's her new name, Ann. A-N-A, Ann. Dusur, a blue bull, daughter of Ann, the son of Dusur, Hamidu, Esbun, Aru, Kuru. These sounds like I'm saying old men and English language stuff. The son of Izur, Balu, Zabul, a king, the son of Dasun, and Aran. Those were the Hariseb, Lotu, Zabu, Zabu, and Dasun, Hazur, Dajin. Those were the Haritiseb, current to their division in the land of Zur. The ruler of Edom. Those were the kings who reigned in Edom before Israelite King Renan. Bel, son of Bor, became king of Enes. The city was no more. When Bel died, Jacob, son of Bajuru, decided him as king. When Jacob died, Dosu from the land of Temanite cities, him as king. When Hesher died, he and son of Buna, who defeated Munda in the country of Mudmore, succeeded him as king. His city was named Avi. When Adam died, from Jeru succeeded him as king. When Zablu died, so Leru forever succeeded him as king. When Zazil died, But soon Aragaburus succeeded him as king. When Bel-Hanan Abagor died and succeeded him as king, his city was named Pur. His wife's name was Matapato, daughter of Metra, the daughter of Mizah. There were the 7 descendants from Isu by name according to their clans and region. Tamla, Haru, Jalu, Ablubilu, Elum, Panun, Kajum, Jamul, Mazbul, Zbandan, Aram. Those were the Seth of Enam according to their settlement in the land they occupied. This is the family line of Esau and the father of the Ammonite. Please sub, like, share, and I'm out of here. Hello, band team. Let's learn about the cupbearer and the baker. Sometime later, cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt offended their master. The king of Egypt, Pharaoh, was angry with the 2 officials, the chef cupbearer and the chef baker, and put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard. In the same prison where Joseph was confined, the captain of the guard assigned them to Joseph. He attended them. After they had been in custody for some time, each of the 2 men, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were being held in prison, had a dream the same night. Each dream had a meaning of its own. When Joseph came to them and the next morning, he saw that they were dejected, so that he asked Pharaoh officials who were in custody with him in his master's house, "Why do you look so sad today?" "We both had dreams," they answered, "but there is no one to interpret them." Then Joseph said to them, "Do not interpretation belong to God? Tell me your dream." So the chef cupbearer told Joseph his dream. He said to him, "I am a dream. I saw a vine in front of me, and on the vine were 3 branches, and as soon as it bolted, it blossomed, and a cluster ripened into grapes. Pharaoh cups was in my hand, and I took the grapes and squeezed them in Pharaoh's cup, and put the cups in his hand." This is what it means. Joseph said to him, "The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your position, and you will put Pharaoh's cup in your hand, just as you used to do when you were the cupbearer. But when all goes well, what you remember me and show me kindness, mention me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison. I was forcibly carried off from the land of the Hebrews, and even here I have done nothing to deserve being put in dungeon." Now the 3rd day was Pharaoh's birthday, and he gave a feast for all his officials. He lifted up the head of the chef cupbearer and the chef baker in the presence of his officials. He restored the cupbearer to his position, so that he once again put the cup into Pharaoh's hand. The chef cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. He forgot him. Please sub, like, and share, and don't forget about me. And I'm out of here. Hello, band team. Let's learn about Pharaoh's dream. When 2 full years had passed, Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing by the Nile, when out of the river there came up 7 cows, sleek and fat, and they grazed among the reeds. After them 7 other cows, ugly and gaunt, came up out of the Nile and stood beside them on the riverbank. And the cows that were ugly and gaunt ate up the 7 sleek fat cows. Then Pharaoh woke up. He fell asleep again and had a second dream. 7 heads of grain, healthy and good, were growing on a single stalk. After them 7 other heads of grain sprouted then and scorched by the east of the wind. Then heads of grain swallowed up the 7 healthy full heads. Then Pharaoh woke up, and it had been a dream. In the morning his mind was troubled, so he sent out for his magicians, wise men of Egypt. Pharaoh told them his dream, but no one could interpret them for him. Then the chef cupbearer said to Pharaoh, "Today I am reminded of my shortcomings. Pharaoh was once angry with his servants, and he imprisoned me and the chef baker in the house of the captain of the guard. Each of us had a dream the same night. Each dream had a meaning of its own. Now a young Hebrew was there with us. In a sermon of the captain of the guard, we told him our dreams, and he interpreted them for us, giving each man the interpretation of his dreams, and things turned out exactly as he interpreted them to us. I was restored of my position. Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and he was quickly brought from Judges. When he had saved and changed his clothes, he came before Pharaoh, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, "In a dream no one can interpret it, but I have heard said of you that when you hear a dream you can interpret it. I cannot do it," Joseph replied to Pharaoh, "but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires." Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "In my dream I was standing on the bank of the Nile, when out of the river there came up 7 cows, fat and sleek, and they grazed among the reeds. After them 7 other cows came up, scrawny and very ugly, lean. I had never seen such ugly cows in all the land of Egypt. The lean, ugly cows ate up the 7 fat cows that came up first, but even after they ate them, no one could tell that they had done so. They looked just as ugly as before. Then I woke up. In my dreams I saw 7 heads of grain, full and good, growing on a single stalk. After them 7 other heads sprouted, wither, and then scorched by the east wind. Then heads of grain swallowed up the 7 good heads. I told this to the magician, but none of them could explain it to me." Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, "The dream of Pharaoh are one and the same. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good heads of grain are 7 years. It is one the same dreams. The 7 lean, ugly cows that came up afterwards are 7 years. So, or the 7 worthless heads of grain scorched by the east wind. They are 7 years of feminine. It is just as I said to Pharaoh. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt, but 7 years of famine will follow them. Then all the abundance in Egypt will be forgotten. The famine will revenge the land, the abundance, and the land will not be remembered, because the famine that follows it will be severe. The reason the dream was given to Pharaoh in 2 forms is that the matter has been formally decided by God, and God will do it soon. Now let Pharaoh look up for the discerning wise man, put him in charge of the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh appoint commissioner over the land to take a fifth and harvest of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. They should collect all the food of those good years that are coming and store up the grains under the authority of Pharaoh to be kept in the city for food. This food shall be held and reserved for the country to be used during the 7 years of famine that will come up upon Egypt, so that the country may not be ruined by famine." The plan seemed good to Pharaoh, to all his officials. So Pharaoh asked them, "Can we find anyone like this white man, one in whom is spirit of God?" Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my place, and all my people are to submit to your order. Only with respect to the throne will I be greater than you." Please sub, like, and I'm out of here. Hello, Pan Team. Let's learn about Joseph in charge of Egypt. So Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt." Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put on Joseph's finger. He dressed him in a robe fine line and put a gold chain around his neck. He had him ride in a chariot as his second in command. People shouted before him, "Make way! Make way! Make way!" Those he put him in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I am Pharaoh, but without your word no one will lift hand or foot in all Egypt." Pharaoh gave Joseph the name of Zibnumtap and gave him Ajumnumnap, daughter of Phidiptor, priest, on to be his wife, and Joseph went throughout the land of Egypt. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from Pharaoh's presence and traveled throughout Egypt. During the 7 years of abundance, the land produced plentiful. Joseph collected all the food and produce in those 7 years abundance in Egypt and stored it in the city. In each city he put food grown in the field surrounding it. Joseph stored a huge quantity of grains like the sand of the sea. It was so much that he stopped keeping record because it was beyond measure. Before the year of Phinehas come, 2 sons were born to Joseph by Asenath, daughter of Photiphar, priest of On. Joseph named his firstborn Messiah, and said it is because God had made me forget all my troubles and all my father's household. The second son be named Ephraim, and said it is because God has made me fruitful in the land of my suffering. The year of abundance in Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of Phinehas began, just as Joseph had said. There was famine in all the other land, but in the whole land of Egypt there was food. When all Egypt began to feel the famine, the people cried to Pharaoh for food. The Pharaoh told all Egyptians, "Go to Joseph and do what he tells you." When the famine had spread over the whole country, Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold grain to the Egyptians. For the famine was severe throughout Egypt, and all the world come to Egypt to buy grains from Joseph, because the famine was severe everywhere. Please sub, like, share, and I'm out of here. Hello, Bandit Team. Joseph's brother is what we learned about today. He gone to Egypt. When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his son, "Why do you just keep looking at each other?" He continued, "I have heard that there is grains in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us, so that we may live and not die." Then 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grains from Egypt, but Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with the other, because he was afraid that harm might come to him. So Israel's sons were among those who went to buy grains, for there was famine in the land of Canaan. Also now Joseph was the governor of the land, the person who sold grain to all is possible. So when Joseph's brother arrived, they bowed down to him with their faces to the ground. As soon as Joseph saw his brother, he recognized him, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke hoarsely to them. "Where do you come from?" he asked. "From the land of Canaan," they replied, "to buy food." Altogether, Joseph recognized his brother. They did not recognize him. Then he remembered his dreams about them and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see where our land is unprotected." "No, my lord," they answered, "your servants have come to buy food." "We are all the sons of one man, whose servants are honest men, not spies." "No," he said to them, "you have come to see where our land is unprotected." But they replied, "Your servants were 12 brothers, the sons of one man, who live in the land of Canaan. The youngest is now with our father, and one is no more." Joseph said to them, "It is just as I told you. You are spies, and this is how you will be tested. As surely as Pharaoh lives, you will not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of your numbers to get your brother. The rest of you will be kept in prison, so that your word may be tested to see if you are telling the truth. If you are not, then you are surely, as Pharaoh lives, you are spies." And he put them all in custody for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, "Do this and you will live. For I fear God if you are honest men. Let one of the brothers stay here in prison, while the rest of you go and take grains back for your storm and household. But you must bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words may be verified and that you may not die." This they proceed to do. They said to one another, "Surely we are being punished because of our brother. We saw how distressed he was when he pleaded with us for his life. But we would not listen. That's why this distress has come to us. Rabban replied, Don't I tell you not to sin against the boy? But you wouldn't listen. Now we must give in accounting for his blood. They did not realize that Joseph could understand them since he was using his interpreter. He turned away from them and began to weep, but then came back and spoke to them again. He said, Simon, take from them and bound before their eyes. Joseph gave order to fill their bags with grain to put each man silver back in his sack, and to give them privies for their journey. After this was done for them, they landed their grains on their donkey and left. At the place where they stopped for the night, one opened his sack to get free for his donkey, and he saw his silver in the mouth of his sack. My silver has been returned, he said to his brother. Here is my sack. Their hearts sank, and they turned to each other trembling and said, What is this that God has done to us? When they came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them. They said, The man who is Lord over the land spoke coarsely to us and treated as Drew we were spying on the land. But we said to him, We are honest men, we are not spies. We were 12 brothers, sons of one father. One is no more, and the youngest is now with your father in Canaan. Then the man who is Lord over the land said to us, This is how I will know whether you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me and take food for your storming household and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, so I will know that you are not spies, but honest men. Then I will give your brother back to you and can trade in the land. As they were emptying their sacks, each man's sack was in his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouch, they were frightened. Their father Jacob said to them, You have deprived me of my Trojans. Joseph is no more, and Simon is no more, and now you want to take Benjamin. Everything is against me. Then Reuben said to his father, You may put both of my sons to death if I do not bring him back to you. Entrust him to my care, I will bring him back. But Jacob said, My son will not go down there with you. His brother is dead, and he is the only one left. If harm comes to him on the journey you're taking, you will bring my gray head down to the grave in sorrow. Please sub, like, and share, and I'm out of here. Hello, band team. Let's learn about the second journey to Egypt. Now the famine was still severe in the land, so when they had eaten all the grains they had brought from Egypt, their father said to them, Go back and buy us a little bit more food. But Joseph said to him, The man will warn solemnly, You will not see my face again unless your brother is with you. If you will send your brother along with us, we will go down and buy food for you. But if you will not send him, we will not go down, because the man said to us, You will not see my face again unless your brother is with you. Israel asked, Why did you bring this trouble on me? And by telling man you had another brother, they replied, The man questioned us closely about ourselves and our family. Is your father still living? He asked us. Do you have another brother? We simply answer his questions. How were we to know? He would say, Bring your brother down here. Then Judah said to Israel, his father, Send the boy along with me, and we will go at once, so we and you and your children may live and not die. I myself will guarantee this safely. You can hold me personally responsible for him. If I do not bring him back to you and send him here before you, I will bear and blame before you all my life. As is, if we had not delayed, we couldn't have gone and returned twice. Then their father Israel said to them, If it must be, then do this. Put some of the best products of the land in your bag and take them down to the man as a gift, a little balm, and a little honey, some spices and myrrh, some pistachio nuts and almond. Take double the amount of silver with you, for you must return the silver that was put back into the mouths of your sacks. Perhaps it was a mistake. Take your brother also and go back to the man at once, and my God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, so that he will let your brother and Benjamin come back with you. As for me, if I have betrayed, I am betrayed. So the man took the gifts and doubled the amount of silver, and Benjamin also. They hurried down to Egypt and presented themselves to Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take those men to my house and some not nice stuff to animals, pretty much cook them, in other words, and prepare them as a meal. They are to eat with me at noon. The man did as Joseph told him, and took the man to Joseph's house. Now that the men were frightened, when they were taken to his house, they thought we were brought here because of the silver that was put back into our sacks. And the first time he went to attack us and overpower us and seize all as us as servants, took our donkey. It's all right. He said, don't be afraid. Your God, the God of your father, has given you treasure in your sacks. I receive your silver. Then he brought Simon out of them. The steward took the man into Joseph's house, gave them water to wash their feet, and provided fodder for their donkeys. They prepared their gifts for Joseph arrived at noon, because they had heard that they were to eat there. When Joseph came home, they presented him the gifts they had brought into the house, and they bowed down before him to the ground. He asked them how they were, and then said, how is your age, father, you told me about? He's still living. They replied, your servants, our father is still alive and well. They bowed down, presenting themselves before him. As he looked about and saw his brother Benjamin, his own mother's son, he asked, is this your youngest brother, the one you told me about? He said, God be gracious to you, my son. Deeply moved at the sight of his brother, Joseph hurried out and looked for a place to weep. He went into his private room and wept there. After he had washed his face, he came out and controlled himself, said, serve the food. They served him by himself, the brother by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with them by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, for that is distinguishable to Egyptians. The man had been seated before him in the order of their age, from the firstborn to the youngest. They looked at each other in astonishment, and when portions were served to them from Joseph's table, Benjamin's portions was 5 times as much as anyone else's, so they feast and drank freely with him. Please sub, like, and share, and I'm out of here.